up, YouTube viewers? My name is Kiss, and welcome back to KTV Network. Today I'm reacting to PlayStation announces a price hike on their products is likely coming soon. Thanks, Nintendo. Yeah, thanks, Bowser. Jackass. Excuse me for cursing. But, yeah, let's see what Dr. Disaster has to say. Let's watch. This is why I will never, ever buy a Nintendo Switch 2, and I have a video on that coming up.
What's up, Space Pirates? This is your Admiral, the ever-charming Dr. Disaster. And here's something I really hate. When someone says they're gonna take an action, but they try to get out of the backlash by blaming someone else.
It wasn't me. It was the one-armed man.
And actually, in the case of Sony, who are expected to raise the prices on their PlayStation 5 consoles and most likely raise the prices of their first-party games as well, in their case, they have an obvious cause to blame everything on. When Nintendo showed us the prices of their Switch 2 and the raised prices of their games, we all knew it was just a matter of time before the other game companies joined in. A few weeks back, we learned, of course, that Microsoft was raising prices on their games and Xbox consoles, and now it looks like the PlayStation will be joining their peers by raising their prices.
Wow.
We're not just doing this for money. We're doing it for a shitload of money.
But rather than make the obvious connection and say, hey, the market is changing, folks. We've seen that people are willing to pay higher prices, so we are joining with Microsoft and Nintendo in order to maximize profit. In other words, rather than be honest, these knuckle-draggers are blaming the tariffs that the United States has on China. You know, the ones that were drastically reduced as the two countries hammer out a new trade deal.
That's a lovely
You're full of shit.
Oh yeah. Even Nintendo has recently come out and made it public that actually the tariffs had no effect.
That's a nice way out. That's kind of like the strike, using the strike as an example when these developers and writers went on strike as an example to as an excuse to lay off the activists from the gaming industry, and then it just became its own avalanche from there.
Effect whatsoever on their pricing. As annoyed as I have been at Nintendo, I can at least respect that they've got the testicular fortitude to puff out their chest and say that this is what we're charging because we decided to do it. Don't get me wrong, they're certainly thrilled that the media has been spinning the tariffs as an explanation for the price increase, effectively providing them cover, but they themselves have not claimed this was the cause of prices going up, at least not to my knowledge. Meanwhile, Sony is doing their best to hide behind a convenient excuse.
Chicken shit? Who you calling chicken shit? Calling you chicken shit.
Well, I like him.
Chicken shit.
We had a lot of different, we had a lot of interesting actors in the 80s.
But alrighty then, let's talk about Sony threatening to raise prices due to tariffs. They'd better hurry up and raise those prices though, if they're gonna do it, because it does look like the trade war, if that's what you want to call it, between China and the US is fading away somewhat. If they aren't quick, Sony is going to lose their excuse, and they're just going to have to do what we all know they're planning to do without the convenient scapegoat. It's unfortunate that they even feel the need to go this way at all, though. As I discussed a few weeks back, after Microsoft raised their prices, this was actually a secret opportunity for Sony to really drive the final dagger into the heart of their competitors at Microsoft by not raising their prices. If their price points remained the same, if they didn't raise prices, they would have a massive competitive advantage over the others. But Sony apparently doesn't value long-term strategy so much as they value short-term gains. This is just one more reason why PC gaming is absolutely taking over. What is that old saying that gamers always use when it comes to Steam?
Again, like I've said, tinfoil hat theory. I feel like it's all a ploy to get to gather the cattle. You know, put them in one place, so we have no other choice but to opt for PC and get used to not owning our games and having them raise their prices, do whatever the fuck they want with us. Excuse me for cursing yet again. I'm trying to expand my lexicon so I don't use filler words, but that's just me thinking way ahead. You know, I feel like that the Nintendo and Bowser, they're in cahoots to, I don't know, somehow eradicate this company and have me people move towards PC. And I feel like Bowser's probably in cahoots with Bill Gates and this, that, and the third, and who knows. But let's see what happens.
Gabe Newell does nothing and just keeps on winning. The bozos on the console side of things are rapidly pricing themselves out of business for not much more than the cost of an Xbox Series X console. I could have a reasonable PC, for example, but let's read what Sony is saying about the tariffs causing all this trouble. This article is from Insider Gaming. It says at the bottom there, in its latest quarterly earnings, Sony has said that it's currently considering raising PlayStation 5 prices due to the current tariff situation with America. The news came from Sony CFO Lin Tao, who said that the company currently needs to find approximately 100 billion yen, equivalent to $512 million, to make up for the impact of the current tariffs. In terms of the tariffs, we are not just simply calculating the simple tariffs to come up with 100 billion yen, but are thinking about the current available information and looking at the market trend, we may pass the price to customers. And then, if we skip down to the next paragraph, it says, Sony CEO Hiroki Totoki weighed in on the tariffs to say, these hardwares can of course be produced locally. I think that would be an efficient strategy, but the PS5 is being manufactured in many areas, its components, so whether it's going to be manufactured in the US or not, it needs to be considered going forward in such a critical situation. And as a guy from the US, I gotta say, all I'm hearing from that paragraph is that Sony is considering manufacturing the PlayStation in the United States, which would bring a shitload of jobs to my country. Sounds like a good thing to me, and it also sounds like that's the sort of strategy which would largely circumvent this tariff issue. So, these tariffs are really just an excuse. A load of jobs to my I gotta say,
I gotta read that again.
is being
Sorry.
manufactured in many areas, its components. So whether it's going to
Oh
be
yes, that's right.
manufactured
That's right.
that
Yes,
Sony
yes,
is
yes, yes.
considering
Good news. Good news. Good
manufacturing
news.
the PlayStation
Although they're full
in
of
the
shit,
United
so good
States,
news.
which would bring a shitload of jobs to my country. Sounds like a good thing to me.
Yes, yes,
and it
yes.
also sounds like
We could
that's
use
the
more
sort of
employment.
strategy which would largely circumvent this tariff issue. So these tariffs
And hopefully the prices drop once they do this. Because if they don't, then gamers are gonna come after you.
are
Not me, because I'm a law-abiding citizen, but I'm sure other gamers will. And not in a violent way. Not that I'm saying that, but you know what I'm saying. Just I'm saying that to cover my ass.
are really just an excuse. As I said earlier, Nintendo confirmed that the tariffs didn't affect their decisions. This article from Bounding Into Comics just dropped, and it lays out a Q&A session that the president of the Nintendo Corporation had with investors on an earnings call. It says, when asked about how they would respond to the tariffs, the company president said, based on the assumption that tariffs would remain the same as what was announced on April 10th, we factored in a negative impact of several tens of billions of yen at the profit level into our consolidated financial forecast for the fiscal year ending March 2026. In other words, they have definitively told us here that the raised prices were not a result of tariffs. Of course, the tariffs did cause Nintendo to pause the pre-order date for the Switch 2, but that was it. and the media has been trying desperately to make this into a thing. They want people to be angry at their political rivals
Yes.
in the White House. They are running cover for the likes of Nintendo and Microsoft, and it is working, at least to some extent. I was talking about this a while ago, but I went into my local GameStop recently asking them how the pre-orders for the Switch 2 went, and the manager started going into a little tirade about how he's going to be super upset when the prices go shooting up because of the idiot in the White House, and I shot his ass down real quick and told him I'm not interested in his rant. But the thing is, if we want anyone to blame for why prices are going up across the board, we all know who that is. I know that in the title of this video, I wrote, "Thanks Nintendo," as if all of this was their fault, and it does suck that they started the trail of falling dominoes.
Was this the game of the year? I mean, I'm getting lost in the graphics, and it looks like fun, but that's game of the year. That one game of the year.
But it's gamers that did this. It's us. Nintendo asked for a higher price,
guess.
and gamers paid it.
It looks like Wally, but the male version of Eve.
Sure, a bunch of us said no, but not enough. So, whether we like it or not, this is the way the industry is going. I only hope more AA studios like Sandfall, who made Claire Obscure Expedition 33
Price their
and
games at
sold it for
50.
$50, I hope that sort of thing grows in popularity in a big way. But
That way they can combat each other, and more people buy AA games than AAA games, and then you have another kind of financial war going on, and whoever wins out, they'll have to compete with the pricing. So let me know what you think about this video down in the comments below. Like, subscribe to that, man, but like and subscribe and become a beat today. If you vibe, become a beat today. You know what I'm saying? My goodness, my spiel just went away. Just went away. Check me out on the live streams and let me know what other gaming videos you want me to react to. I'll be here. Alright, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Take care.